Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips. I'm wearing my 4th of July sweater since it's Independence Day this week and celebrating early, I guess. So, lots of stuff to share with you today. This broadcast is brought to you, first of all, by Wellness Farm Health and the Wellness Farm Institute. And just a couple of announcements. We held the skin cancer workshop a couple of weeks ago. We had some technical problems. So in order to record it, so we have a permanent record of it to use in the future, I'm offering it again on July 9th. All right. So if you were signed up for the original, you'll get an email about it. You don't have to let us know. You'll get to participate if you want to, but there's still time to sign up for the live version. Second thing, July 10th, I'm presenting a workshop on APEEL, APEEL, the coating on fruits and vegetables that is controversial. I've been looking into it. I'm going to present a workshop on that. It's for members who are professional and above. And I'm announcing our annual Christmas in July special offer. And what this is you purchase a 6-month supply of our smoothie ingredients, and you get 3 times that much points toward. You can pick 2 of these 4 items. One is Optimal Life and Health with Pam, Part 1. Part 2, which is Healthy Aging. Common conditions, causes, and treatments like hypertension, AFib, UTIs, headaches and migraines, reflux, restless leg, thyroid disorders, kidney stones, and more. And then common conditions, part 2, tetanus vaccines, hemorrhoids, food allergies and sensitivities, tinnitus, fibromyalgia, new perspectives on depression, anxiety, and more. So each one of those 4 weekends is, and it's a Friday night, all day Saturday. Each one of those is $9.95. You buy 6 months worth of smoothie. You can pick 2 out of the 4. Buy a year's worth of smoothie. You can take all 4. So you get 3 times the value in terms of educational programs. So if you're interested in seeing a flyer and more detailed explanation, then send me an email at pampopper@msn.com. All right, so 2 topics I want to talk about today. And the first is I received an email from somebody who apparently watches me online. I'm not really sure what the relationship is, if this person's a subscriber or not, but I thought the question posed and my answer to it might be very helpful. So the email reads as follows. I need to know, what is the basis of your nutritional beliefs? I may join one of your classes, but I first need to know what you lean toward. Vegan, vegetarian, meat eating, paleo, carnivore, etc. I'm sure your beliefs closely identify with one of these types of diets. So this is what I responded back. And it's true. I don't have any beliefs. And we advise members to avoid practitioners who discuss what they believe like the plague. We use rules of evidence that everyone can agree on. And when applied to research results, you get the right answer to almost all questions. Almost all things can be figured out this way. Some examples would be, first of all, self-reported data is garbage. According to self-reported data on diet that's gathered every year in the United States, most people in the US are not consuming enough calories to maintain their weight. I mean, seriously, you can go to the local shopping mall and see that's not true. So studies based on self-reported data, out. We don't pay any attention to them. They're incredibly inaccurate. Another one of our rules. Many studies show that a particular intervention or diet delivers a statistically significant but clinically meaningless result. Those are also out, and so on. There are 19 rules we use. You'll learn them as a member. And if you're looking for an organization to confirm the beliefs that you already have, we're probably not for you. People join Wellness Forum to learn how to be scientists so that they can direct their own care and not be taken in or harmed by charlatans. And so that exchange, I think, is very important, and it goes to what makes what we do very different from many other people. So my follow-up comment to this, which I didn't include in the email that resulted in a response to this person, is a very disturbing trend has developed in health. Doctors and others who should know better talk about health-related topics as if these are subjects to be discussed from a point of view. Now, my point of view or opinion about a local restaurant or a novel I just read is legitimate, but it's not when discussing issues about health and outcomes from health interventions. These same people often talk about their own experience as if an N of 1 is a scientific study. It's a level of ignorance and irresponsibility that's one of the reasons why health in our country continues to decline. The same decline in academic rigor that we've all noticed in disciplined thinking and scientific inquiries had disastrous results. So I guess what I've been calling for a long time, and we're acting on it now, is since we're getting into the direct care business and moving toward a totally integrated system, is that we just have to uh, really make our goals and expectations, and we have to raise the bar, I guess is what I'm saying, and look at things quite differently. Science is, the science of diet, the science of health, and there are gray areas that involve discussion, and I'm going to get to one of those in a minute. But you have to start with data. And this whole idea of what do you believe and who do you follow? I mean, these are just all the wrong terms to be talking about when it comes to health. All right, so last week I had answered a question from a subscriber about blood pressure. And the answer, I'm going to talk about that some more because it's somewhat related to what I just mentioned and talked about with this other exchange. I mentioned that last week that doctors are medicating people to lower and lower blood pressure levels, and that there's little benefit, sometimes significant evidence of harm that can result for this practice. So, for example, and I'll give you some data on this, and I'm going to put this in next week's newsletter. I try to put the stuff that's kind of hard to follow. You can get the general idea, but you might like to see the specifics in the newsletters so that you can dive a little further into it. But a person with mild hypertension, which was before medicine went off the rails, defined as a range of 140 over 90 to 159 over 99, one number needed to treat, or NNT analysis, showed that when used for primary prevention, there is no benefit in terms of mortality, reduced rate of mortality, stroke, progression to coronary heart disease, and total cardiovascular events from medication. On the other hand, 1 in 12 patients experienced side effects and even harm and discontinued taking the drugs as a result of that. No benefit, 1 in 12 was harmed. Other NNT, or number needed to treat analyses, show that taking blood pressure medications for prevention of death, heart attacks, and stroke yielded the following data. 1 in 125 were helped in terms of prevention of death, so less than 1% benefit. 1 in 67 were helped in terms of prevention of stroke. 1 in 100 benefited prevention of heart attack, fatal and non-fatal myocardial infarction, and sudden or rapid cardiac death, so about 1%. 1 in 10, or 10%, were harmed due to medication side effects, and they stopped the drug. Furthermore, many studies show that the more aggressively patients are treated with medication, the more likely they will experience serious side effects and even death. This is referred to as a J curve. Lowering blood pressure to a certain point can be beneficial and maybe even necessary, but when pressure is lowered beyond that point, the risk of harm begins to increase and often surpasses the risk associated with no intervention at all. The reason for this is when blood pressure is artificially lowered too much, blood flow to the heart and brain can become impaired. Small vessels that lead to the heart and brain are the most vulnerable, and this can lead to a heart attack or loss of brain function. The bottom line, the best bet for people with mild hypertension is diet change, hydration, and exercise, which not only serve to lower blood pressure, but will also improve all kinds of other markers of health as well. For those whose blood pressure does not return to normal, an informed discussion should take place that includes an analysis of the risks and benefits associated with the choice to take the drugs or do nothing. And the choice to do nothing is a real option in many cases that should be considered, because often the option to do something carries with it risks that are significant as well. So all this to say, healthcare is a science, the science of healthcare, the science of medicine, and we should be using data to drive decisions. And people may make varied decisions based on what they think about the data, but you start with data. And so I hope that people aren't looking to me to find out what I believe and what I think and the way I eat and all that. This is all nonsense. It's just plain nonsense, and we should be avoiding it like the plague. And over medicating people becoming a more and more common thing, and it's sometimes worse than doing nothing at all. But I think what we don't want to do is present the sucker's choice. Well, we can medicate the heck out of you, or you can just sit there and stay at the same risk level. How about we can medicate you, doesn't really work very well, or you can change your diet, drink more water, exercise, lose some weight, and fix this problem and prevent a whole lot of others. That seems like a much more informed choice to me. All right, well, this week is the 4th of July. We will be closing on Wednesday afternoon at 5 o'clock. and closed for the 4th of July holiday, and then back open on Friday and Saturday again. So stay safe out there. Enjoy yourself. We have a lot to celebrate. We still live in a free country. We got to work like crazy to make sure we stay that way, but let's be grateful that we live here and all of the things that we enjoy, and be especially grateful if we're fortunate enough to be in good health and respect ourselves enough to keep ourselves in good health. So if any of the things I mentioned at the beginning of this video are interesting to you, once again, my email address is pampopper@msn.com. Thank you very much for watching. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think would enjoy watching it, and I will be back to you next week with more news.